ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। वासुदेवेन्द्र योगीन्द्रं नत्वा ज्ञानप्रदं गुरुं मुमुक्षूणां हितार्थाय तत्त्वबोधोऽभिधीयते। Tattva Bodha, the book that talks about the essence in Vedanta. It's an introductory text. It's more like a explanation of every concept that is being discussed in Vedanta. Before we proceed studying the Vedanta, going into the depth of it, we get introduced to these concepts through this book. It is attributed to Adi Shankaracharya. It is said that he's given us this text. So in this, he talks about the qualification of the student, which we have covered. And after qualifying, you have to get into knowledge. After qualifying, in the sense, before you go to PhD, you must have completed post-graduation, undergraduation, school, everything. And only you come to PhD. Nowadays, they have 4 years degree, undergraduate program. So I'm told they have PhD which they can undertake after undergraduation, not necessary to go through post-graduation in certain cases. Whatever it is, you have certain qualifications. So if you want to really get into the inquiry of truth, you should be free from the preoccupations of the mind. The mind is preoccupied with artha, kama, dharma, as if they are the goals. And they are the goals in the beginning. You understand? Vedanta talks about these 3 goals. Artha, kama, dharma. But if we are preoccupied with artha, kama, dharma, then doing research into the truth is not possible. Your mind should be relatively free from the preoccupations of this. Then sit down and get into inquiry of the truth. That's why first he talks about the qualifications, which are very, very important. If I really want to bring about transformation in me, you understand, I need to develop these qualifications. I just want to intellectually acquaint myself with some information as to what Upanishads are talking about, what Bhagavad-gita is talking about, then it's a different matter. Then I'm not really interested in bringing about a change in my life. I'm just curious. You understand? But here he's not talking about the students who are curious. He's talking about sishyas who are ready to give up. Sishyas means seekers, seeking the truth. You understand? It's different from being curious about the truth. What is this guru saying? What is that guru saying? Going from one pillar to another post, this kind of living, just out of curiosity. That's not what he's talking about. He's talking about seekers. Then you sit down with these qualifications, you sit down and do the inquiry. And when you inquire about the truth, he uses the process of negation and assertion. Because the guru who's realized the truth, who's enlightened, is the one who's helping us through the inquiry. Isn't it? It's a conversation between Sishyas and the Guru. Shishya is asking the question and the Guru is answering. Our Guru is coming down to the level of the Sishya asking the question and escalating himself to the level of the guru and then answering. Whichever way you want to take it, take it. Because the Shishya's name and all was not mentioned here. So, the point is, this is a text. It's a discussion, question answer session. The question is asked about the truth by the ardent seeker. When the ardent seeker is asking the question about the truth, the guru who is enlightened, he knows that the truth is beyond things that he knows. So he mentions 11 items, 3 bodies, gross, subtle and causal. Then 3 states of consciousness, waking, dream, deep sleep. Then 5 sheets, Annamaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha, Vijnanamaya Kosha, Anandamaya Kosha. Food sheet, vital air sheet, mind sheet or mental sheet, intellect sheet or intellectual sheet, then bliss sheet, Vasana sheet, Anandamaya Kosha. These are the 5 sheets covering. So, Atma, the truth, is beyond all this, apart from all this. So, first he negates. Then, that which is beyond all this is of the nature. He says, Sat Chit Ananda Swarupa. So, this is how he proceeds. So, we have seen that negation thing already. Atma is not a gross, subtle, causal body. So, what is gross body, subtle body, causal body? Detailed explanations. What is 3 states of consciousness? Waking, dream, deep sleep. Detailed analysis. Then what are the 5 koshas? Pancha koshas. Detailed analysis. What is kosha means? When we say maya means what? Modification. Kosha means what? Covering, sheath. Annamaya kosha, when you say it is the sheath that is nothing but the modification of food. Pranamaya kosha, nothing but the modification of pranas. Manomaya, modification of mind. Vijnanamaya, modification of intellect. Anandamaya, modification of bliss. Okay. Now, sheath, covering, what does it mean? Strictly speaking, as I told you, grass cannot cover the subtle. Okay. So we have to use as though covering. Strictly speaking, the sheath doesn't cover the sword. The sword is of a particular shape. The sheath is also of the same shape. But what happens is when the sword is inserted into the sheath is not visible for us because we are occupied with the sheath darshanam now. So one who lost darshanam loses the sight of the sword. But even when he loses the sight of the sword, the sheath has no connection with the sword. It doesn't taint it. Similarly, our Atma doesn't get tainted. Even when we are imagining, when our attention awareness goes to the body, foot sheath, we are lost in that. So, to the extent we get lost in it, what happens? We become unaware of our true nature. It's covering. Therefore, we call it a sheath. So, these are sheaths covering as it were. So, by analysis, you understand that they cannot really cover you. You are much subtler than all this. But because you do not know this, you are now a slave. Once you do this analysis, you will become the master. That's the idea. Idea is to make you the master. I would like to learn how to become the master of my life, of my senses, of my mind, of everything after I become 60. Okay, fine. Choice is yours. If you learn when you are young, that will be very helpful because major portion of your life is still to be lived. You live like a master. You decided major portion of my life I want to live like a slave. Then let me sit and analyze. There is so much time goes in the preoccupations. You understand? So much time goes preoccupation. It's difficult. It's Maya. It's not easy. So therefore, because at any given point in time, we always feel how much ever we've got is not enough. Ego, it feels so uh, insecure. Inflation rate is this much. This is this much. That is this. How much ever I got is enough. Not enough. Not enough. So I keep postponing the inquiry into truth. Then when we are in the last stage, it is too late. This is the whole thing. So therefore, we have to sit and do the inquiry. So after he talks about all this, then he says, this Atma is beyond all this. How do we say this? He says, just as bangles, this is the last shloka we saw, isn't it? Just as bangles, let me just share that screen with you. So he says, just as the bangles, earrings, house, etc., known as mine, are all other than the knower me, so too the 5 sheets known by the self, by oneself, as my body, pranas, my mind, my intellect, my knowledge, should all be other than the knower, and so cannot be Atma. Understand? My ignorance also. My ignorance. My body, my pranas, my intellect, my ignorance. When you're in deep sleep, whose ignorance is it? It's your ignorance, isn't it? So all this you are claiming it as mine. Just like how you claim these bangles are mine. These earrings, house, all your possessions as mine. And when you say mine, you are different from what you possess. They are your possessions. You are the owner. You are not the possessed. Isn't it? You are the possessor. Similarly, you say my body, my mind, my intellect, my pranas, my ignorance. That means what? They are different from you. There are times when you say, I am in pain, while actually it is your body that is in pain. I am in excitement, while it is your mind that is in excitement. You understand? I am clear, while it is your intellect that is clear. So this distinction we don't bring. We get caught. So he's using that same logic to say that this is object. These are all objects. These things that can be objectified cannot be the real subject. Anything that can be objectified cannot be the real subject. Okay. There is a text called Drik Drishya Viveka. Viveka means discrimination, knowledge. Drishya means objects. Drik means the subject. Seer, seen. Understand? Seer, seen, discrimination. So when you do that discrimination, you understand that what? All these are drishya, that which can be known, that which can be seen, experienced, objectified. So the true knower, the real self, the real subject cannot become an object. When that becomes an object, there is some other subject then knowing. Who's knowing it? You understand? So when you keep going like that, that ultimate subject can never be an object. So anything that is objectified, known through your senses, mind and intellect cannot be Atma, is not Atma. You negate. So when you negate, you distance yourself from that. The more you distance yourself from that, the less it has any effect upon yourself. When you get pain in your knee, you say, "Arey yaar, paining, 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 paining." Means what? You are taking your consciousness more into that pain. Then over a period of time, you and pain become so close, you become pain. You are in excruciating pain, and you also become pain for others. It's a separate pain. Okay, everybody will be there. Yeah, this fellow has nothing better to talk. You understand? So you become that pain because your identification is so much upon that pain. So now this analysis helps you to take your attention away from pain. So when there is pain, if you have done enough analysis like this, sufficient analysis with your calm mind, then when the pain comes, you will be able to observe. Okay, pain is there in the knee. Okay, then you are distancing yourself from the pain. And slowly, slowly, as you are distancing, the pain moves so far away. It's there, but it doesn't affect you. Please understand. It is there, it doesn't affect you. So once the mind has thus been detached from what the truth is not, then it has to be taken to what the truth is. You understand? So that's why after giving all these explanations, now you're saying, just as your possessions like bangles, earrings, house, you can have whatever else you want, are not you. They are all other than you. They are not the knower. They are all other than the knower, the real self. So too, the five sheets, body, mind, pranas, intellect, everything is not me. I am different from all this. This understanding is very, very important. This helps me from not getting affected by anything. So Vedanta will not say you will get rid of your pain. You get rid of the pain in one form, it may come in some other form. We already studied. The body means it goes through what? 6 modifications, isn't it? It goes through all these modifications. So there will be disease. And if there is something that can come, then it can go also. So if something that comes and brings you joy, while going, it gives you sorrow also. Are you with me? So if you want to be free from sorrow, then you have to be free from joy also. No. I want joy. I want joy. I want the joy that my mind experiences. All the time I want only joy. I don't want sorrow. Not possible. I want to identify with joy, but I don't want sorrow. How is that possible? If you understand that joy is something that I'm experiencing in my mind, you remember we already studied that this is Sukshma Sharira. This is Stula Sharira. Stula Sharira is what? Counter. Sukshma Sharira is the instrument. So when you are experiencing joy and sorrow, where are you experiencing it? You're experiencing it in your mind. For that experience to happen, you need a counter. That counter is the gross ears, gross eyes, etc. You understand? But really, where the joy is happening, you need the tongue for the, what do you call, the taste to go through. You understand? That you need. And that, when it goes in, where are you experiencing the taste? You're experiencing it in your mind. So this is, oh, it's bringing me joy. So that which is bringing you joy means it's come now. So it will go. When it goes, it will give you sorrow. So when I understand that, when it comes also, I don't identify with it. I experience it, but I won't identify with it. When it goes also, then I won't get affected. All this will help for that. Then, after all this analysis, then he gets on to what is Atma, that discussion. What is the nature of Atma? What is my Swarupa? Who am I? Who am I essentially? This is the thing, Without knowing who am I, we are all living life. And we are imagining ourselves to be somebody. So we need courage to question all that we know. That's very important. That courage to question all that we know. And when we question all that we know, that association of people and other things that are there at that level will slowly leave us. We have to become little lonely. Not lonely. Actually, you will be extricating yourself. You will become alone. Not necessarily physically, in that conditioning level. You understand? But you need courage for that. It's not easy. You need courage. See, it happens in life also, no? You and your friends circle are different when you are small. Your cousins and everybody, you all grow up as good friends. And then slowly, you go to undergraduation. Some of your cousins and some of your friends may stop at the level of school. They may not go to undergraduation. You go to undergraduation. You go to post-graduation. Some may stop at undergraduation. Then you go to post-graduation, you go to PhD. You are doing research. You're thinking differently. You're in a different level. You still love your friends. You still love your cousins. Everybody. You have that fond feeling. You have that oneness. But how much you can be with them and discuss all the time? Their thinking is at certain level. They'll be thinking about those things only. You understand? And it's not that you are discriminating, you are looking down upon them. Nothing like that. You really have oneness with them. You should rather. But your thinking is now gone different. So from their angle, they may think, yeah, this will become, indifferent. That is their problem. You are not indifferent. You are now into different level of thinking. So that's what happens. And this will happen to everybody who moves up in the spiritual ladder. And it has to happen. It's growth. And when that growth happens, even in life, you see, children, when they have to go and study, they want to go and study in good IITs, and they may not get admission in the IIT which is there in their city. They may have to go to some other city. Or they may get admission in some other country college, university in different college. So they have to separate themselves from the parents and the relatives, friends, and go there. It is not possible. There is no growth if you don't get ready to separate yourself from them. That's what I'm trying to say. So when you do this analysis, these things will happen. A fear will come. You will say, "Arey yaar, comfort zone, comfort zone, comfort zone." You have to leave that comfort zone if you want to grow. There is no growth if you are not ready to leave that comfort zone. So when you do this analysis, slowly you understand all this I am not. Then who am I? That question comes. Atma tarhikaha Satchidananda Swarupaha. So the next question is what? What is Atma? Atma tarhikaha. Then what is Atma? It is of the nature of Sat Chit Ananda. See, when you haven't done this analysis and haven't really understood, or if it is not really straight in you that you are not all this, you will not ask, who am I? Take the example of a child, or even if you ask, it will just be casual question. You've eaten full meals. and you are half asleep, and you are sitting with your friends. Some of them are exposed to Vedanta. Okay, what is Vedanta? What is Vedanta? What is Atma? They're not really asking. When this fact that you're not all this which you thought you are disturbs you, oh my God, then who am I? Karna was told, you are not our son biologically, but you are more than our son. You understand? But biologically, you are not born to us. When Karna was told, so Karna still continued having gratitude to his parents and all that. But that question was there in him. Then who is my biological mother? Who's my biological father? Isn't it? Otherwise, you are comfortable. This is my mother, this is my father. In many houses, I've heard when they don't have children, they adopt. Sometimes they adopt within the family, brother's children or somebody like that. Or maybe they'll go adopt outside, whatever it is. The child is growing in that family. And from the child's angle, child thinks this is my mother, this is my father. The child is growing up like that. And they have decided we should inform the child at some stage when the child could take it. Whatever age that they believe, child is 18 or 20, whatever, 21. They tell this to the child. Say, listen, you are more than our child. So it really doesn't matter. But we thought you should know the truth, therefore we are telling you. And they tell. And it's a tough thing for the child and the parents. And the child, when the boy who's grown up or the girl who's grown up, and they come to know of this, it's tough. But till then, they were very comfortable. When they come to know this is not my real biological parents, in spite of me not being their biological son or daughter, how much they took care of me. And even when I come to know in future that they are my biological who my biological parents are, I will still have tremendous loyalty towards this set of parents. That will continue, but the question will be there. Like the thorn that has gone into the flesh, until and unless it's removed, it keeps on bothering. It's entered and it's not removed. Every now and then it keeps bothering. Like when you're eating, something gets stuck in between your teeth, in that gap. As you're talking, going on, doing this with your tongue. Why? Because it's bothering you. Somewhere down the line, it's bothering you. So, for us, it's not even bothering. Unless we do this kind of analysis, you should have traveled with the Guru till now. For that, I'm saying all this. You may think, this fellow doesn't even get into the discussion, unnecessarily is going on talking all these things. When will we talk about the nature of the self? You may think like that. For that, I'm saying. That's why I said if you want just to cover the text out of curiosity, it's a different matter. But if you really want to travel, see, a seeker travels with the Guru. You understand? A student is just trying to find the answer. A student wants to find the answer. The Shishya is not interested in finding the answer. What is he interested in? A Shishya. Anybody? Shishya is interested in growth. Please understand. Finding an answer and being in the same level is different. You have not grown. What is the use? You should know and then grow. You understand? If otherwise all this knowing is of no use, If whatever I am knowing is not going to contribute for my growth, why should I know? As I have so many things. Some of them which we have known, not only it doesn't contribute for our growth, it contributes more. I don't want to use the word contribute. It adds to devolution or stagnation. All kinds of gossips and this and that we know through different sources, including social media. How is it contributing for our growth? It is contributing for our stagnation. Years together we stagnate. But we get into this false feeling that we are knowing. We are getting to know many things. We are knowing about this, we are knowing about that. What is the point? There's a very interesting discrimination Swamiji does between intelligence and intellect, wisdom and knowledge. Wisdom contributes for growth. Rather, wisdom is growth. Knowledge, knowing many things, doesn't necessarily contribute for your growth. So therefore, he says, after this, you should get into the inquiry. Before this, if you inquire, it will fall flat. So when you travel with the Guru, now you've done all this. Now you're also convinced, Arey Baba, I'm very clear. I am not all this. But I don't know who I am. And I must know. And not only I must know, before I die, I must know this. That's why Nachiketa, the young boy, went to Lord Yama himself. Yama is the one who is assigned the portfolio to take our life. He's Dharmatma, Dharma, Lord of Dharma, maintains the balance. You understand? So if there's too many people, the burden cannot be taken by the earth. So the releasing job is given to Lord Yama. So if I have to be released from this earth, it is Lord Yama who will do that. So why don't I directly go to Lord Yama? Nachiketa thought. He went to Lord Yama. And when he went, Yama was not there. Lord Yama was not there. 3 days he waited. And after waiting for 3 days, Lord Yama comes. Then he is asking. He asks 3 boons. He doesn't ask 3 boons. Lord Yama gives 3 boons. Because 3 days you waited. A Brahmin boy is not supposed to wait for 3 days. So, though it's not my fault, you still waited. So, I'll give you 3 boons. Basically, distraction. Trying to distract. And first 2 boons he asked about other things. Third one he is asking, tell me who I am. Teach me Atma Vidya, Brahma Vidya. Then Yama said, you're so young. So much wealth is there. Take it. So much enjoyment is there. Take them. I'll give you all that. I'll grant. Blank check me de le. With a lot of punya. Blank check will help you to enjoy in this world. A lot of punya will help you to go and enjoy in the heaven. All that I'll give you. He said, you keep it, man. You keep it. Are you going to teach me Brahma Vidya or not? Tell me, don't waste my time. Face to face, he sees Lord Yama and tells this. Because he is suffering with it. That suffocation has to be there. Papa, I don't know who I am. Comfortable we are. Why will you ask? That suffocation has to be there. That should be the priority. That should be the only thing. Ananyas chintayanto mam e jana paryupasate tesha mitya vyuktanam yoga kshemam vahamiyaham. Chinta means thought. Anya chinta means other thought. Ananya chinta means no other thought. Understand? No other thought. Only this. When you come with no other thought, you will get it. We have so many other thoughts. We have so many other things. Along with this also I want. Then what I mean? When you come with that single pointedness, then you will get it. So the question is, what is Atma? Then he says, Satchit Ananda Swarupa. Your nature, the Atma's nature. Atma means you are, don't think of Atma as an object. Oh, Atma is Sachidan. I am different. No. Atma means I. Understand? What is the nature of Atma? The Guru is declaring here. Sat Chit Ananda Swarupa. You understand? So this is what they call as the nature of the self is indicated in the Shastras in two ways. Tatastha Lakshana and Swarupa Lakshana. So far we saw Tatastha Lakshana. Indirect, not direct. Swarupa Lakshana. After all this indirect, then direct happens. You directly talk about it, nobody will understand. That's why this is mentioned this way in the Shastra. They are not mad. You understand? The gurus are all very intelligent. So first Tatastha Lakshana. Then gives Swarupa Lakshana. This is your nature. So then obviously the next question is Sat Kim Kalatrayepi Tishtatiti Sat. What is Sat? What is existence? That which remains unchanged in three periods of time, past, present, and future, is existence. Sat Kim. What is Sat? Kalatraya Traye Api Tishtati, remains, exists. Iti Sat. That which exists in all three periods of time, past, present, and future. So it says, you, the Atma, is something that is present in all three periods of time. The self is present in all three periods of time. It is always existing. Means what? Now is saying it is Nitya. You understand? It is beyond time. It is Nitya. Never is there a time where I is not. This is what Sri Krishna explained in the Gita also. When the Gita starts, he says, Ashochan Anvashochastvam Prajnavadamscha Bhashase Katasun Agatasun Na Anushochanti Panditaha. Wise people do not worry about those who are gone and those who are going. Why they don't worry? He said, Natvevaham Jatunasam Natvam Ne Mechanadipaha. Achaivana Bhavishyamaha. So he says, never indeed was I not, nor you, nor these rulers of men. None of us will cease to be here after having been. So the I always remains in all periods of time, in all states of consciousness. Isn't it? There is never a time when the I is not there. When you are a small child, you say, I am a child. Then you grow up, you say, I am a teenager. Then you grow up and say, I am a boy. I am a young man. I am a middle-aged man. I am an old man. Child is different from the boy. Teenager. Teenager is different from the boy. Boy is different from the youth, young man. Young man is different from middle-aged. Middle-aged is different from old man. But in all this, I is continuing. I. Similarly, now you are saying I am the waker. And when you go to sleep, you'll say I am the dreamer in the dream state. When you are in deep sleep, you'll say I am the deep sleeper. Waker is different, dreamer is different, different. I continues. So this I, there is never a time when I is not there. You understand? So this I is different from this name and form, because this name and form, like I told you, none of us had a name for the first few days when we were born. When we were born, first 2 days, no name. Then there's a time they fix, there's a good time to give the name, naming ceremony. They have thought about all the names for the few days. Then you are given the name. And that name that you were given is removed when we die. And a person dies in the hospital. They have all the formalities, all that is done. Then they get the certificate and bring the body in the ambulance to the house for all the rituals, and then they take it to the take it for cremation. Now, people at home who are waiting, what will they say? When is the body arriving? Some people call and say, has the body arrived? So what has happened? They removed the name. The name that was given is removed. You understand? And what happens to that form? Slowly starts disintegrating. Isn't it? All the 5 elements goes into the respective 5 elements. It starts disintegrating. Isn't it? Firstly, when the body dies, you touch and say, oh, it's become very cold. Maybe he's gone. But let me call the doctor, let him confirm. So like that, one by one, all the 5 elements goes. This gets disintegrated. So the name and form are not permanent. Beautifully in Tamil, there's a scripture called Tirumandiram by Tirumular. He says, Uralam kuti uraka alidittu, பெயரினை நீக்கி பிணமென்று பெயரிட்டு சுரையாங்காட்டிடை கொண்டு போய் சுட்டிட்டு நீரினில் மூழ்கி நினைப்பிழந்தாரே. Means what? When a person dies, what do? We inform everybody. Those days they used to send telegrams. Now, very simple. WhatsApp. SMS, WhatsApp. We do that. So, Urallam Kuti Urakadit. You call everybody, inform everybody, and then sit in. Right. Then, Payarinai Niki Pinamendra Payarit. You now remove the name and recast, rename, recrest. What? Dead body. Pinam means dead body. You are renaming dead body. Then you take it to the cremation ground. Surayangatide kondu poi suttit. Cremate. Then you come back, take a dip in the, what do you call, pond, a river, and then go about your work. Forget. நீரினில் மூழ்கி நினைப்பிழந்தாரே. Forget. You understand? So this name and form, which I am considering myself to be now, is not Shashwatam, is not the Sat really. You understand? They undergo all these modifications. Birth, death, all these changes happens. But I, just like how it traveled from childhood to youth to old age, it's going on. It is actually beyond time, Nitya. It doesn't go through change. Therefore, what? It is avikari. It is nameless. Anami. There is no nam. I am without a name. You understand? All this is for reflection. You go after this class, somebody asks, what's your name? Or you have to fill up a form. Your son is applying to some college. Father's name, Anama. Don't write like that. Understand this name. Why this name then given to us? For identification purpose. So if in the class I have to ask somebody, ask Mukesh, then he'll say, yes sir. Otherwise if I say, hello, everybody will say hello. If I say Hariom, everybody will say Hariom. I have to say Rajesh, Sanjay, Sudarshan, then each person. So each person address it is. We have started believing address itself to be me. That's the problem. You understand? So I am not the form. Nirakara. Without a form. And no gunas, no qualities. All these qualities are pertaining to the form. I have no qualities. I am nirguna. In the academy, in the ashram, when it is anybody's birthday, on that day, We don't sing happy birthday to you. We chant a shloka from Atma Bodha. Nirguno nishkriyo nityo nirvikalpo niranjanah nirvikaro nirakaro nityamuktoshmi nirmalah. Nitya. You understand? You are that Nitya. When the form is removed, what remains? When the object is removed, what remains? That is real self. That which exists, called as isness in English. Isness. You see a form, you say, oh, tree is. Then you cut the tree, that form is gone. That particular form was given the name tree. Then that form is destroyed. Then you see logs. So the form that you see, you say log is. This form is given the name log. Then you change that log into a table. So table is, form is gone. Along with that, name is gone. So the table is. You understand? Now you burn the table. The form of the table is also gone. What will be there? Ashes. So you say ashes. So this names and forms goes on changing. But the isness, that which remains, that which always exists, that existence principle is me. It is beyond time. That's me. Don't say that's my Atma. This is the problem. Mera Atma. Not Mera Atma. In many cases, your children, your wife, your husband, your friends, your parents, they start becoming your Atma. Atma means the real I. That is existence. That is beyond time. That existence principle, which is the substratum, that's Atma. That is the Swarupa of Atma. That is my real nature. When you introduce yourself, you want to introduce, right? You say, I'm so and so's son. I am so and so's Sishya. Oh, wow. Okay. This person is so and so's son, so and so's Sishya. In the Vishnu Sahasranama also, the Vyasam Vasishtanam Taram Shakti Pautram Akalmasham. What is that? Introduction. From which lineage? Understand? Which lineage is coming? So like that, you are ultimately coming from that Atma. You are that, not this form. See, when you really start reflecting upon these things, you cannot have any complex. And your confidence, this is called real self-confidence. This knowledge will boost your self-confidence. You will have self-esteem. And you will not have self-arrogance. You will have self-esteem. Because that existence principle cannot just be limited to this body alone. That isness cannot be just limited to this body alone. It is the substratum of this entire universe, because behind everything, every form, there is isness. You understand? That isness which is behind every form, behind the entire universe, that substratum cannot be limited to one form. So just like how you have self-confidence and self-esteem, with that you will treat everybody else also with that same esteem, same respect. I don't know how it is in this part of the world, but in deep south, not in the cities, when you go deep south in the villages in Tamil Nadu, where I come from, with respect they call the children. Oh, வந்துட்டீங்களா? நீங்க என்ன பண்றீங்க? Means with respect. You're asking the child with respect. So it's not, they are so elderly, they are not looking at you from that age, the culture. That's what I'm trying to say. You will, you will automatically grow up. That's why Swamiji named the trust as Vedanta Cultural Foundation. Swamiji says, if at all there is culture, it is only Vedanta culture. Otherwise, it is all agriculture, he says. In passing, he says sometimes like that. So this is what happens to a person. Becomes cultured, becomes civilized, becomes confident, and treats everybody with respect. You understand? So this understanding, because this isness is not just behind this form, it is behind every form also. So then you penetrate that form, and the doing of that form, whether it's good or bad, in spite of it, you still see that Atma. And then what Jesus Christ said, he said, don't hate the sinner, hate the sin. Why that fellow committed the sin? Because he doesn't know, he's not identified with the isness. He identified with that limited form, therefore he did that. Anyone who identifies with the unlimited isness cannot commit sin. Not possible. So this understanding, that is, is that isness is existence principle. That's me. So from the form, you slowly take yourself to the formless. From the time, you slowly take yourself to the timeless, which is beyond time. You understand? So you are all this Nitya, without form, without name, all that. This is you, he says. This is the first introduction he gives. Sat, your existence. Existence means you are that existence principle. This existence that you see now is not real existence. That means what? This is not real Sat. This is dependent on it. Later on, when he does the analysis of Maya, he will talk about Ashraya. You understand? Here, no Ashraya, no dependence. The existence without dependence. That's why they sometimes put the word absolute before existence. In some books, when you read, they say absolute existence, absolute consciousness, absolute bliss. They write. You get confused. What is the absolute? Then there is something which is not absolute. This body is existing now for us, but it doesn't exist in all three periods of time. During the dream state, there is no identification with this body. In dream state, you have identification with a different body, which is coming from the mind, a dreamer's body. In deep sleep, even that identification is gone. So therefore, that cannot be the real existence. So therefore, in some books you see, when Sat is written, they write absolute existence. Otherwise, you will take it as this. There are people who, you are seeing, it's there, na? It's there. That means it's real. Don't deny. Vedanta says, correct, don't deny. Don't deny that it is not there. Then you are a mad fellow. It's there. But you analyze, is it really absolutely real? That you analyze. When you analyze, then you understand. This existence depends on something. The tree's existence depended on the isness. Lord's existence depended on the isness. You understand? And similarly, the table's existence depended on the isness. Ash existence depends on the isness. But the isness is not dependent on anything. That isness remains in its pristine glory without any dependence. That independent existence, that intrinsic existence. You understand? We are going on using so many words. That intrinsic, independent existence, thou art. That is real Atma. Atma tarhi kaha satchitananda swarupaha. Then Sat Kim? He says Kalatrayepi tishtati iti Sat. Kalatrayam, past, present, future. In all periods of times, that which exists, that is Sat. You understand? This is you, this is me, this is my real self. Hmm? Like Shakespeare says, what a fall was there, my countrymen. Like that, we have fallen. We have fallen from this level to this level, identifying with the tree, branches, log, table, this, that. But once you get this knowledge, you shift your attention from here to that. With that identification, you move about in life. That's why that's the thing is doing now. This is you. That is Sat. That which exists in all periods of time, independently. There can be no form without isness, but isness exists without a form. So that is called Sat. That is the first explanation for Atma. Then he gets on to Atma as consciousness, then Atma as bliss. You understand? That we will see later on. But this is how he proceeds slowly. Let's conclude. Oh. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.